back to the Chisambo Show. Today we are going to talk about remaining motivated. Now that is something that I need. I need to hear this. I need to find a strategy of remaining motivated to do what I need to do. Okay, so Joshua here, our in-house psychologist, is going to tell us how we can do that. Because at times, Josh, that I know I need to get something done, but I'm not motivated. And because I'm not motivated, I won't do it. So is there a way around this to be motivated all the time?
There definitely is. People will tell you that there isn't, but there is.
Okay.
Like, if you think about this, if you've been able to create one emotional state within yourself more than once, that means you can do it over and over again.
Okay.
That means that there's a strategy in the way that you do it. And there's strategies for many different things, right? So when we say a strategy, what do I mean by strategy? A strategy is like a sequence of actions that you take to create a certain outcome.
Okay.
That's all it is. So you've got a strategy for financial freedom, right? There's strategy like the way you organize your resources, the way you organize your time, the way you organize your spending habits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the strategy, there's a sequence of actions.
Okay.
So I want to give you an analogy, so it makes sense. So for example, when you're baking a cake, right, and you're baking an amazing cake, there's a strategy or a sequence of actions to make a perfect cake.
Okay.
Right? So for example, like let's say we've got Bob. Bob's like, been a baker for 25 years and he's worked at finding the perfect recipe for perfect chocolate cake.
Okay.
Right? So what Bob does is he does the thing that he does and he leaves a recipe for us to follow. So he's got a recipe of making the perfect cake.
Okay.
Right. So what happens if we follow the recipe to the exact?
We get Bob's results.
Exactly. We get Bob's results.
In the ideal world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Give or take. We makes Bob's cake, right?
Okay.
We've got his ingredients. We've got the right amount of ingredients and stuff like that. We make the cake.
Okay.
Right. So now let's apply this into the human experience. So let's say the cake now is motivation.
Okay.
For you. Now you've been motivated in the past.
Yeah.
Right. Several times.
Yes.
Right. So if you've been able to be motivated several times in the past, that means you can be motivated in the future.
Yes.
That means that there's a strategy. There's something that you continuously do. A series of actions that you take to get yourself into the state of motivation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've done it once, you can do it again.
All right. I'm with you on that one.
Right.
Yeah,
but the problem with loads of us is that we don't actually know consciously how we're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in order for us to be able to consciously become motivated, what do we need, right? We need the ingredients.
Okay.
We need to know what to do. So in order to create a certain cake or the cake of motivation, the ingredients that are needed are our five senses. So our five senses are what create the way we feel.
Okay.
So you got your visual, you've got auditory, which is your hearing.
Yeah.
You've got kinesthetic, which is your feelings and sensations, right? Then you've got olfactory, which is your smells. Okay. And you've got gustatory, which is your taste.
Okay.
These are the five senses.
Okay.
Everything that tells you. So your five representational systems.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I'm with you on that one.
So within those five representational systems, you've got little they call them subnormalities. Okay. So I'll try not to be complicated. So it's just like the little subheadings or the sub things within those modalities or within those representational systems. So for example, they're like two mini groups. So you got visual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see visual. So you've got two. You got visual internal. Yeah. Which is I see in my mind, and you got visual external. Yeah. So visual external is like, for example, you're looking at the camera and you're seeing me, right? Yeah. Yeah, and you're looking and seeing me moving and stuff like that. That's a visual external reference. It's something that's happening outside of yourself.
Okay. Right. So give me an example. Say for example, I want to be motivated to do the gardening. Yeah. Okay. And at this point in time,
you don't feel like doing it. Right. So you've got your different senses, right? Yeah. So we've established you got visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, right? And you've got internal and external. Yes. Right. So visual external, visual internal.
It's what's happening on the inside.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Audio internal, audio external. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got all those, right? So in order for you to get motivated, there's a series of actions that happens. So for example, let's say for you to get motivated to do the garden, the sequence is you go outside and you see the garden and you're like, you see the garden, you're upset, right? Yeah. Then you say something to yourself. So maybe in turn. So what do you do?
How can I live like this?
So you say that to yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is awful.
So you say that to yourself, right? Yeah. And then what happens after that?
After that, right, I refuse to live in squalor.
Yeah. So you say something to yourself again?
Yeah. and then I get the lawnmower out.
Yeah. Does it create a feeling within you?
Yeah, of disgust.
Right. So
Yeah.
so the order is you see something externally. So you
Yeah.
got visual external.
Yeah.
Then you say something to yourself. So
Yeah,
so what's important? Is it the tone? Is it the dialogue?
It's just the dialogue. I
Yeah.
think what I'm saying to myself.
Yeah.
That,
So you say something to yourself. So you got
Yeah.
visual external experience,
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
something. Audio internal.
okay.
Yeah. I've said something to myself in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. Then what happens? Then you feel something
Oh, I do. It's
Yeah.
like disgust.
on the inside. So
Yeah.
so kinesthetic feelings, kinesthetic internal.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go do something. So that's your
Absolutely.
strategy for getting motivated to do something.
Okay.
So you see something, you say something to yourself in your head, and then you feel something,
Yeah.
and then you
Okay.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of us have a different strategy, but it's
Okay.
about being consciously aware of what your strategy is in order to do that. Because once you realize that,
Yeah.
you can recreate it at will. So for example, for me, like one of my strategies for creativity is audio. Audio is important for me.
Okay.
So for me, it's what I listen to and the tone of what I'm hearing
Okay.
that motivates me. So I hear something in a specific tone, in a motivational tone, and I go into myself.
Yeah.
And I say something to myself, thinking, "Oh, wow, this is powerful."
Okay.
Then I see something
Yeah.
And
In
then
your inside.
inside myself. So
Okay.
visual internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I feel something,
Yeah.
and then I go do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So just different processes.
Exactly. Everyone's
Yeah.
got a different strategy,
Yeah.
but you find that you've got a similar strategy for certain things.
Right.
So for example, if you got like a strategy for buying things for shopping,
Okay.
yeah, if you got a strategy for shopping in general, you probably have the same strategy for buying a house or buying a car.
Oh, then
you
that
got different strategies. Yeah.
Okay, so that will also mean that you can be cured from retail therapy
In a
way, because
yeah,
if
in a
you're
sense,
conscious
yeah.
of what you're doing,
Yeah.
then you know that, oh,
Yeah, look, this is what I'm
this
doing.
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. You can be totally aware of it. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so I would recommend that you watch this over and over again because he was using big words here. Okay, so we're gonna hear from our sponsors. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. We'll be right back after this.